Hi, I'm Sister Taylor, and I will be playing What Child Is This by William C. Dix.
A Bright Shining Star by Thomas S. Monson. This year, as I was glancing through my extensive collection of Christmas stories, poems, and songs, I reread an account by John B. Matheson, Jr., wherein he told of an experience he had 65 years ago, indicating that it was his most memorable Christmas. My heart was touched as I read of this poignant experience, and so I felt to share it with you tonight, hoping that it will engender the Christmas spirit in you as well. During Christmas 1945, John Matheson found himself serving in the Army of Occupation in Frankfurt, Germany. World War II had ended about 7 months earlier, but during the conflict, the city of Frankfurt had suffered much destruction. Most of the city was rubble. Many of the homes which had been left unscathed were taken over by the housing for the U.S. military. John and two other officers lived in a three-story house that easily could have served as home for three families. Each weekday, John and the other two officers would go to their office and return in the evening to find the beds made and the house spotlessly cleaned by an elderly German woman who was hired by the United States Army to be housekeeper for a number of houses in the area. Only occasionally would they see this frail little lady as she busily engaged in her tasks. Their conversations with her were limited, for she spoke no English and their German was poor. But through a sort of sign language and through smiles, they indicated satisfaction with her work. Weekly, John went to the post exchange to get his ration of candy bars, soap, and incidentals. Though sometimes he grumbled about the poor selection available, he always purchased all he was allowed and put the excess in his footlocker. As Christmas approached, John thought he would give some of the gift to the housekeeper, so from the abundance of his footlocker, he filled a large cardboard box with candy bars, soap, and cans of fruit juice. He knew that the system of barter among the Germans, his gift to her was worth many, many dollars, but the cost to him was negligible. Knowing she would not work Christmas Day, as John left for the office on December 24th, he placed on the table where it would be seen his gift box and a Christmas greeting. All day he felt rather smug as he thought of his generous gift. The housekeeper would be like an heiress in the poverty of her neighborhood. How lucky she was, he thought, how beholden she would be to him, to the generous American, and yet his gift was not given in compassion, but merely out of pity for self-satisfaction. As he approached the house in the darkness of the December evening, he saw the dim glow of the lamp filtering through the window. His house was still. He entered the home and saw that his gift and recipient were gone. However, the glow of that lamp, he saw on the table her Christmas note and her gift to him. He expected no gift, but there it was. All she could afford and given in the spirit of Christmas. What could a poor little lady give? She could give from her poverty and from her heart the fondest memory of her beloved city of yesteryear, and she could give the Christmas star. On that dimly lit table, along with her painstaking written Merry Christmas, were 10 old and dog-eared picture postcard scenes of Frankfurt as it had appeared before the war had devastated it. The housekeeper had placed each card on edge and fastened them together so that every 2 cards formed a point and all 10 cards together formed a Christmas star. She had little to give. In fact, it was all that she had. Though John Matheson lived to see many more Christmases, that little housekeeper's Christmas star shone brightly throughout his life. He said that her Star of Bethlehem implanted within him the Christmas spirit and taught him the true meaning of joy and giving. Brothers and sisters, this joyful season brings us a measure of happiness that corresponds to a degree to which we have turned our minds, feelings, and actions to the Savior, whose birth we celebrate.
This is the prophecy of the stem of Jesse found in Isaiah chapter 11, verses 1 through 4, read by George Stancliffe. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.